What was supposed to be one of the most romantic moments of Brooklyn Beckham's life has now turned into one of the most talked about family feuds in Hollywood. And just when the drama seemed to cool down, Marc Anthony stepped in with a comment that changed the tone completely. The Grammy-winning singer, who has known the Beckhams for decades and is even godfather to Cruz, finally broke his silence after being dragged into the middle of the controversy. Calling the situation unfortunate, he made one statement that raised eyebrows everywhere. The way it's playing out publicly is hardly the truth. And that single line has only fueled even more speculation about what really happened that night. The entire situation exploded back in January when Brooklyn shared a shocking Instagram statement accusing his mother, Victoria Beckham, of hijacking what was meant to be his romantic first dance with Nicola Peltz at their lavish 2022 wedding. According to Brooklyn, Marc Anthony had called him up to the stage in front of 500 guests where he expected to share a special moment with his new wife. Instead, he claimed his mother was waiting for him, and he described the dance as uncomfortable and humiliating. He even alleged that Victoria danced very inappropriately, leaving Nicola in tears. Brooklyn made it clear he wasn't interested in reconciling with his parents, and the internet immediately split into sides. But almost as quickly as the accusations surfaced, insiders began telling a different version of events. Sources told Page 6 that the moment in question was not actually the couple's first dance. Reports claimed the dance floor had already been open for a while, with guests celebrating freely when Marc Anthony took the stage to perform. According to wedding insiders, the plan was for Marc to introduce Brooklyn and Nicola for a big romantic moment on a specially built stage. However, during the performance, he reportedly called Brooklyn up and referred to the most beautiful woman in the room, which turned out to be Victoria, not Nicola. One guest alleged Victoria wrapped her arms around her son and nuzzled his neck, describing the scene as inappropriate, while another source insisted the situation has been mischaracterized and blown out of proportion. The room, according to reports, felt divided, with the Beckham side cheering while the Peltz side remained quiet. From that point forward, the narrative became messy. That's where Marc Anthony found himself unexpectedly pulled into the center of the storm. In his interview with The Hollywood Reporter, he didn't attack anyone or dive into specifics, but he did make his loyalty clear. He described the Beckhams as a wonderful, wonderful family and emphasized that he's known them since before their children were born. He stopped short of revealing details, but his choice of words, hardly the truth, suggested that what's being portrayed publicly may not fully reflect what happened behind closed doors. He didn't deny that emotions were high. He didn't dismiss Brooklyn's feelings. Instead, he subtly implied that the situation may be more layered than a single viral statement can capture. And many fans believed this wasn't just about one dance. Rumors about tension between Nicola Peltz and Victoria Beckham have circulated since the wedding planning phase. Reports claim there were disagreements over Nicola's wedding dress designer, with speculation that communication between the two women broke down months before the ceremony. While none of these claims have been officially confirmed, online buzz has painted a picture of underlying friction that may have been simmering long before that night on the dance floor. When Brooklyn publicly sided with his wife, some saw it as a husband protecting his partner. Others viewed it as a son distancing himself from his family legacy. The fallout didn't stop there. Observers quickly noticed symbolic moves that seemed to speak louder than words. Brooklyn reportedly covered up a tattoo dedicated to his father and ink that once represented his siblings. Not long after, Romeo Beckham debuted a bold new neck tattoo reading "Family," a move many interpreted as a subtle but pointed message. Cruz and Harper have also appeared publicly supportive of David and Victoria, presenting a united front. While no one has directly addressed the deeper meaning behind the ink, fans online have certainly drawn their own conclusions. Now the situation feels less like a simple misunderstanding and more like a public battle of narratives. On one side, Brooklyn's emotional account of feeling humiliated at his own wedding. On the other, insiders and longtime family friends suggesting the story may not be as dramatic as it sounds. Mark Anthony's calm but carefully chosen words have only intensified curiosity. If the public version is hardly the truth, then what part are we missing? Was it an awkward moment blown out of proportion, or the breaking point of a much deeper divide? In the end, this isn't just about a dance at a wedding. It's about loyalty, marriage, family identity, and what happens when private conflict spills into the spotlight. Hollywood has seen its share of family feuds, but few unfold with this level of symbolism, public statements, and celebrity involvement. And as long as both sides remain firm in their stance, the question lingers, is reconciliation even possible? Or has this one night permanently redrawn the lines inside one of pop culture's most famous families?